Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special series of videos. In this series of videos, I'm going to be going over a number of stories. It's going to be a story time series. When I say stories, I'm not speaking about Oedipus Rex. I'm speaking about Normie W. I'm speaking about personal anecdotes, personal stories from my life. I'm going to share with you guys because I think you'll get a kick out of them. Now, you join me in my cabin in the woods. This is a very secluded place where I feel like I can really tell it like it is. Tell you guys the whole story, no malarkey, nothing but the truth. So, without further ado, let me open up my storybook and read to you the story of how I got banned from the PCMR subreddit. Early in the morning, I was posting the links to one of my more recent articles on a number of Reddits. This is something I often do. I do this for a number of reasons. Primarily, and to be, like I said, this cabin's a place for honesty, it's to spread it and to gain some traction on the topics, and that was sort of my main goal. So I was posting on a number of subreddits, and I found the PCMR subreddit had a tag for meta discussion. So I figured, what is a more meta discussion than me discussing how they should change their name if they don't want to be seen as a hate group? So I, typed up a little post and sent off my article. Very quickly, and I say very quickly, a little bit hyperbolically, because in fact it did take about an hour. My post got deleted, and I was like, "Oh, that's a little odd." I'm not quite sure why my post would get deleted, but I guess it gets deleted. I then see a message in my inbox, which isn't uncommon. In fact, believe it or not, I get a fair amount of messages on Reddit. A lot of them very hateful, but that's the platform, you know. So I click on the message, curious because it seems to come from the PCMR subreddit moderators, and I look, and it says that I've been banned from the PCMR subreddit, which, to my dismay, I can't understand why. I mean, all I did was post an article explaining why they're a hate group, but then I see a little snippet of their message, which says I violated Rule 7. So obviously the first thing I do is I go and I see what Rule 7 is, so I can understand why I violated it and maybe, at least understand where I went wrong, so if I get unbanned in the future, I could come back and we couldn't have any issues. I look at what Rule 7 is. It was discrimination. And I don't understand how, if I could look over my article 100 times, and you could read it as many things. You could read it as very opinionated, which is not incorrect. It is an op-ed, as all my articles are, so sure. If I got banned because I posted something opinionated that they disagreed with, that's fine. But was my post discrimination? Of course not. I was very mad at that time, so I decided to write them a reply and simply ask them, how had I been discriminating against anyone when I was just pointing out the hate on their subreddit? And here's what they came back to me with: a big old nothing. Which, I get it, they're busy, they run a subreddit of 3 million people, and so who am I to expect that they'll give some time to little old me? But I'm a journalist, and I don't do this for fun. This is serious, real journalism that I'm doing here. And the fact that they wouldn't even give me 20 seconds to slap out a quick message just explaining, hey, we don't like the fact that you exposed us. That's all. If they had sent that, I would have been fine. But instead, they didn't. They replied with the coward's way out. And if you don't know, the coward's way out is, let's see here, not responding, like a little baby boy. Or as Mr. President would call it, a bunker bitch. The PCMR subreddit moderators, much like our president, were bunker bitches in this situation. They were, well, they were afraid of responding to me because they understood, they've clearly read my article, and they clearly understood just the level of wit that I had at my disposal and the tact I had in writing out responses. So they understood that if they had said more, that I would find a way to use their words against them. But what they don't understand is that I use their silence to prove a much greater point. Here's the deal. A lot of groups are hate groups, okay? And if you're a hate group, the least you can do is let people point it out and tell you so that people can make informed decisions about whether or not they want to be associated with you and have their brands associated with you. But by just sloughing off this criticism, it shows a blatant disregard for that. And that's something I can't stand for. So I posted another article. This one was, thankfully, I have a really good friend who was able to help me compose my thoughts on that one. You'll see him on the Discord server now and then. And, you know, that article is spreading because I'm spreading it, because I'm not going to let this go. You know, let this go. I'm not going to let this go. r/PCRM, PC Master Race subreddit, because I'm not okay with what you're doing on your page. And Hitler wrote Mein Kampf. But you know what? PCMR subreddit admin, in a way, you wrote Mein Kampf with that mod letter that banned me. You know, it's foreboding to me that they would so quickly just get rid of any criticism about the blatant discrimination that takes place in their name against Jewish people who had to experience such atrocities and in the name of Hitler's quote-unquote master race. And the fact that they would just so casually use that just shows me that I don't know if they'll ever be able to improve in that regard. Anyway, that was the story of how I got banned from the PCMR subreddit. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm signing off from the cabin here. If you guys liked the video, of course, leave a like, share this video. Tell me about stories that you want to hear. If maybe you've heard bits and pieces in other videos, I might be able to go further in depth with stuff like my transition. So please, share this video. Share the message that PCMR are a bunch of bunker bitches who won't respond to my DMs because they're afraid of my wit. Spread the message that they're directly censoring people who expose their hate group status. And let's make this viral, guys. Thanks. Have a fantastic day. Goodbye. We got raided by a quote-unquote PewDiePie 9-year-old army.